When you've tried everything to get your little one to sleep, when you are desperately sleep deprived but you cannot bear to hear your baby cry, then gentle sleep training methods are the perfect solution. Drawing on 40 years as a Norland nanny, specialising in sleep issues, I'm going to share 3 proven techniques that will transform your sleepless nights to peaceful sleep without compromising on your parenting principles. Now, before we look into these techniques, I cannot emphasise enough how important it is to have a regular and recognisable bedtime routine to help support your baby through the sleep training process. If you would like to know how to establish these all-important routines, then download the free bedtime and nap cheat sheet in the description box below. It's packed full of hints and tips on how to establish the perfect bedtime routine for your little one. The first method we're going to look at is the chair method or camping out method. The joy of this method is that it's suitable for pretty much any age group. And the idea is that over successive nights, you gradually increase the distance between you and your little one until they are falling asleep independently without you holding them or lying next to them. So you start by settling your little one as normal after their bedtime routine. You place them in the crib and you sit in the chair right next to the crib. If need be, you offer physical contact by holding their hand or placing a hand on their tummy or whatever it is that you need to do in order to keep them calm. You then gradually reduce the amount of physical comfort that you are giving them, and then you move on to verbal support. So you can shush, sing a gentle lullaby, offer words of comfort, and provide as little to no physical comfort. Once you've established this, you start to gradually move your chair further and further away from the crib. Depending on the size of your room, this could take up to a week before you're actually outside in the hallway. Now, during this time, you may need to revert to offering verbal support, but try and keep that to a minimum. And in extreme cases, you might need to get up again. Offer some physical support, but it's important that you return to your chair where it was in the room before you did that. Don't start moving your chair closer to the crib again. Eventually, your little one should start falling asleep more quickly with very little support and eventually fall asleep entirely after the first time that you leave them. This gentle approach lessens separation anxiety and allows your little one to learn how to self-soothe gradually with lots of parental support and presence. However, it will depend on the personality of your baby. Some babies find it more distressing to have the parent in the room consistently, and they struggle to settle. Now, I would say that this method is ideal for babies from 9 months upwards, when you are sure that they don't need as much physical support in order to fall asleep. The second method we're going to talk about is responsive settling. Now, this is a method that requires no crying whatsoever and involves a lot of parental support while your little one gradually learns how to self-settle. How you would implement this depends very much on the age of your child. So for babies 0 to 6 months, you're going to provide full-on support until they are fast asleep. This means rocking or holding them until they are fast asleep and then putting them in their bed. Or you can try hands-on settling, which means putting your baby in the crib on their side and you pat their bottom in a rhythmic motion. When they are fast asleep, you gently roll them onto their back. You place a hand on their tummy or stroke their forehead or jiggle the crib, whatever it takes in order to ensure that they are fast asleep, and then you leave. Now, once your baby reaches 6 months of age or is older, you can step the ante up a bit and you can start withdrawing before your baby is fully asleep. So to do this, you would use your normal method for settling your baby to sleep, whether that be rocking or holding or the hands-on settling technique. But before your baby is fully asleep, you would put them down in the crib. And I know that's the elusive drowsy but not fast asleep, but you will know when your baby is not fully asleep. You place your baby in the crib if you've been holding or rocking them, and then for those of you that have been rocking or holding your baby, you might move on to the hand settling technique. If you're starting with the hand settling technique, once your baby is not fully asleep, you would withdraw that support and sit in a chair next to the crib and wait. If your baby fusses, it's important that you don't respond straight away. Just let them settle for a bit. If they become distressed, you then go back to square one. If you were hands-on settling, you hands-on settle. If you have to, pick your baby up, but it's better if you don't. But try the hands-on settling technique to see if you can calm them. And you repeat. Every night, you do the same thing until your baby is settling with less support from you, until you are able to put them down when they are more fully awake. So you would gradually reduce the amount of time that you are supporting them so they are more awake each time, until such time as you can leave the room when they are fully awake. It's important to remember that this sleep training technique can take a long time in order to see results. It requires a lot of patience and consistency. And you will need to apply the same techniques to deal with nighttime wakings. The final method is the pick up, put down method, also known as the no tears method, because it involves little to no crying. But it does involve putting your little one down to sleep before they are fully asleep. The ideal age range for this method, I would say, is from 5 to 12 months. And to implement it, you would go through your normal bedtime routine and put your baby down in the crib as you would normally. You then leave them. Wait and see what happens. If they start to fuss, again, wait a short while to ensure that they're not just settling themselves in. But if they become upset, you go immediately back in, you pick them up, you calm them down, and you put them down again. And you repeat. It's as simple as that. You repeat this as many times as it takes until your baby falls asleep. And gradually over successive nights, your baby will take less returning to, will take a quicker time to fall asleep until eventually they are falling asleep without you having to return at all. With this method, you are constantly present when needed and your baby is gently learning how to self-settle. But like the responsive settling technique, it is one that requires a lot of patience and consistency and could take quite a while before you see any significant result. I have one big tip for both this method and the responsive settling method, is that you feed your baby 30 minutes before you put them down to sleep. This way, you avoid falling into the habit of feeding your baby to sleep, and it's one less sleep association that you have not got to try and break. Adequate sleep is essential to all human beings, and you should not shy away from sleep training or feel guilty about needing more sleep. All of these gentle sleep training methods provide loving comfort and support to your baby with little to no crying, while allowing you to take control of the situation. When it comes to choosing a sleep training method, it is really important that you are 100% committed to it and that you believe in it. So choose the one that feels right for you and suits your baby's personality. The more committed you are to it, the more likely it is to succeed. Of course, sleep training does not work in isolation. There is so much that you can do to help you and your baby through this process. And to help you, I have put links to all the helpful resources on the Teething to Tantrums website and the YouTube channel in the description box below so that you can make the right choice for your family. And don't forget to download that free bedtime and nap cheat sheet. If you have any questions about helping your little one to fall asleep independently, drop a comment below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so you do not miss a future video.